If you want to learn coding in 2026 but feel confused about where to start, this video is for you. So the internet makes coding look way more complicated than it needs to be. One person tells you to learn Python, another says JavaScript, someone else says AI will replace programmers, and then another person tells you to build 10 projects before you even understand the basics. But trust me, it's a lot simpler than you think. In this video, I'll show you the exact roadmap I would follow if I were starting from zero today. What to learn first, what to skip, how to avoid tutorial hell, how to build real projects, and how to use AI tools without becoming completely dependent on them. Hi friends, I'm Maddie. I'm a senior software engineer who previously worked at Google, internet, other big tech companies like Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft. Let's get into it. I know a lot of you have this question. Is it even worth learning to code when AI can generate code for you? Here's my personal take. The roles getting automated are the ones that were always going to get automated. So repetitive, low judgment work, copy-paste front-end tools. So for example, things like front-end tasks, manual QA, and basic scripting that follows a rigid pattern. But what isn't going away is the judgment layer. Someone has to decide what to build, architects how the pieces fit together, catches the subtle bugs AI generates with total confidence, and owns what breaks in production. AI doesn't get paid at 3 a.m. You do. And you can't evaluate AI-generated code if you don't understand code yourself. Data definitely backs this up. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects 15% growth for software developer roles through 2034, 5 times faster than the average for all occupations. There were 67,000 active software engineering job postings in Q1 of 2026, which is a 3-year high. In the same quarter, layoff headlines were everywhere. So the roles getting cut are low judgment and high automation, while the roles opening up need engineers who can work with AI tools, evaluate their output, and own the results. So yes, I think it's still worth learning to code. The question is just which language. For 2026, that would be Python. And not just because it's beginner friendly, which is quite a lazy reason, but because Python is a language of the AI economy. Every major AI framework, PyTorch, TensorFlow, Hugging Face, LangChain runs on Python. Demand for Python skills in the US has grown 153% year over year. It's the entry ticket to the highest growth corner of the job market right now. Now, let's get into the phase-by-phase roadmap I recommend. Phase 1 is to learn the fundamentals for 4 to 6 weeks. Every programming language has a core set of concepts that everything else is built on. In Python, those are variables and data types, conditionals, loops, functions, and the 2 most important data structures, lists and dictionaries. One thing I want to flag specifically is don't just gloss over dictionaries. Most beginners spend too long on loops and conditionals, which are intuitive, and not enough time on dictionaries, which are where Python's real power lives. If you can't work with nested dictionaries, iterate over key value pairs, and use methods like get confidently, you'll hit a wall with every real project. So how long should this take? 4 to 6 weeks at an hour a day. If it's dragging past that, you're either spending too much time on theory or not writing enough code yourself. The test is to close the tutorial and try to build something small from memory. If you can't, you haven't learned it yet. For resources, I really like python.org's official tutorial, and things like CS50p, Harvard's Python course on edX is excellent as well. And at this stage, AI tools like Claude or chatgpt are pretty useful as tutors. You can paste in code you don't understand and ask for an explanation. You can also ask it to quiz you on concepts. Once you can write basic Python, let's get to phase 2. Learn how programs are actually structured. This gets you from knowing how to write isolated scripts to understanding how real software is organized. You need to understand object-oriented programming, so what classes are, how they work, and why you use them. When you import something from FastAPI or Pandas and call methods on it, that's objects. If you never internalize that concept, you'll be consistently confused about why things work the way they do. You also need to get comfortable with how programs fail. So things like error handling in Python, try-set blocks, understanding the difference between a syntax error and a runtime error, and reading a stack trace without getting lost. In real engineering, debugging is probably like 70% of the job. And start writing code across multiple files. Real projects aren't one big script. So learning how imports work, how to structure a project into modules, how one file talks to another, these are fundamental concepts that often aren't covered in beginner tutorials, but are immediately obvious requirements the first time you really try to build something real. In this video, I'm partnering with DataCamp because it solves the exact problem I just described. Most people stall not because they lack motivation, but because you can only retain a small portion of what you passively consume. However, when you're actively writing code and working through real exercises, that retention can jump all the way to 80 to 90%. That's the exact DataCamp model here. You write real code in the browser from minute 1, get instant feedback, and don't waste your first week fighting setup issues. If you're starting from scratch, begin with their Python Programming Fundamentals track. It's beginner-friendly, about 16 hours, has been taken by more than 45,000 students, and covers the core stuff you actually need. So data types, functions, modules, packages, and ends with the real capstone project. Then, once that foundation is solid, level up with DataCamp's Associate AI Engineer for Developers track. That's where you start bridging Python with AI, building practical AI skills for real software work. You'll learn about the OpenAI API, prompt engineering, embeddings, LangChain, HighCode, and production-ready AI systems. It's 26 hours across 9 courses and was last refreshed in May of 2026, so the content is very current. And if you want proof of these skills, there is a certification program available. The Associate AI Engineer exam ends with a 4-hour practical where you build a working AI application end-to-end. You can't fake your way through it, which is exactly what makes it credible on a resume. That combination, Python fluency plus AI engineering skills, is what's commanding the highest salaries in tech right now. If you want a structured path instead of piecing it together from random tutorials, the links are in the description. Now let's get to phase 3, build something real. This takes you from I finished a Python course to I can build things with Python. My advice on what to build is to skip the to-do list and the calculator. They're fine for practicing syntax, but they don't teach you anything about real engineering, and they won't impress anyone looking at your portfolio. Instead, build something that connects to the outside world. For example, a script that hits a public API and does something useful with the data. A bot for Discord or Slack or Telegram that responds to commands. A scraper that pulls data from a website and formats it into a report. A tool that automates something tedious you actually do. These projects will force you to deal with things like HTTP requests, JSON parsing, error handling, and writing code that has to keep running even when things go wrong, which is exactly what real software engineering looks like. Now, let's talk about the professional skills you need. Learning Python syntax is one thing, but actually being hireable is another. There are a few skills that tutorials almost never cover, but that every real engineering job requires from day one. First is Git and version control. This is non-negotiable. You need to know how to use Git, not just committing and pushing, but things like branching, pull requests, merge conflicts, and reading a diff. GitHub has free interactive tutorials, so I recommend you spend a weekend on this before you build anything. Number 2 is reading other people's code. Most of your time as an engineer, especially early in your career, will be spent reading code you didn't write, in code bases you didn't design, trying to understand what's happening. With AI writing more and more code at faster velocity, you will find yourself reading more and more code quickly. So practice this skill deliberately. Find open source projects on GitHub, read through the code, try to understand the structure before you look at any documentation. Next up, we have using AI tools correctly. AI coding assistants are really powerful and you should use them, but the way you use them while learning matters a lot. Use AI to explain things. Paste in code you don't understand and ask it to walk through it line by line. Use it to check your work. Write your solution first, then ask if there's a more efficient approach. What you shouldn't do is just paste in your problem and copy the answer. You'll feel productive, but you'll learn nothing. And if you're a beginner and your AI generates code that's wrong, you can't catch mistakes that you don't understand yet. Let me close this by talking about where knowing how to code in Python specifically actually takes you. Python is the entry point to 5 of the most in-demand roles in tech right now: backend software engineer, data scientist, machine learning engineer, and AI engineer. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects data scientist roles will grow 34% through 2034, which is 4 times the average across all occupations. AI-related roles grew from 2 to 10% of all developer job postings between 2022 and 2024. So the market is moving quite fast, and Python is at the center of where it's moving and growing. For anyone watching who's already a mid-level engineer in another language, Python plus AI engineering skills is one of the highest leverage moves you can make right now. If you know Java or Go and you want to break into AI tooling, the Python foundation is what gets you there. It's not a long road from where you are. The concepts do transfer. The syntax is just a bit different. So in conclusion, the roadmap to how to learn how to code in 2026 with Python is the following. Go through the fundamentals in phase 1, learn how real programs are structured in phase 2, build something real in phase 3, and along the way, pick up Git, get comfortable with other people's code, and use AI as a tutor rather than a shortcut. And that's all I have for you in this video. If this was useful, hit that like button, hype the video, and subscribe. I make weekly videos on coding, tech, and AI insights and career development. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.